Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the big ideas behind the latest news. Today, we're diving into a new AI model that its creators are calling the best in the world for writing code. So, is the hype for real? Let's get into it.
So, on September 29th, 2025, the AI company Anthropic dropped a pretty major announcement, and with it, they made some incredibly bold claims.
They're calling it Claude Sonnet 4.5. And listen, this isn't just another model update. It's a whole new suite of tools that's really aimed at changing how we interact with our computers.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We're going to start with what Sonnet 4.5 actually is, then we'll look at the numbers to see if these claims really hold up. We'll hear from some big names who've been using it, explore the new tools for developers, dig into the all-important safety features, and then we'll wrap up with a little glimpse into the future.
All right, first things first. What exactly did Anthropic just release?
So, Anthropic is really not holding back here. They're making some massive claims. They're saying it's the best coder out there, the best at actually using a computer to get stuff done, and the top model for building these complex AI agents that can act on their own. Oh, and here's the kicker. They're promising all this extra power is safer and costs the exact same as the version before it.
Look, big claims are one thing, but you gotta have the data to back it up, right? So let's get into the numbers that Anthropic shared.
You know, one of the real tests for any modern AI isn't just theory. It's how well it can actually perform real-world tasks on a computer, just like you or I would. We're talking navigating websites, filling out spreadsheets, that kind of thing. And wow, here is our first big piece of evidence. This is a test called OSWorld, which measures exactly that. How well an AI handles those real computer tasks. And what we see here is a massive leap. I mean, in just 4 months, it went from about 42% to over 61%. That's an incredible pace of improvement.
Now, when it comes to pure coding, this is the number you need to see, 77.2%. That's its score on a test called SWE-bench. You can think of it as a brutal coding challenge, pulling problems from real-world software issues. Hitting a score this high, that means it's not just writing little scripts, it's solving seriously difficult engineering problems at an absolutely world-class level.
Okay, benchmarks are great. They're super important. But what happens when this thing gets out of the lab and into the hands of some of the biggest tech companies out there?
Well, first up, you've got GitHub, the center of the developer universe. And they're saying that Sonnet 4.5 is supercharging their AI assistant Copilot, letting it tackle much more complex jobs that stretch across entire code bases.
And it's not just for the super technical folks. The design tool Canva, with its, over 240 million users, says the model is just noticeably more intelligent. It's a big enough leap that it's letting them build entirely new creative features for all those people.
This one might be the most jaw-dropping. An early partner tested it on their own internal code, and their error rate went from 9% all the way down to 0. Think about that. From pretty good to basically perfect on their tests. That is a massive gain in reliability.
But this announcement was bigger than just a smarter model. Anthropic is also handing over the keys to its own workshop, giving developers brand new tools to build with. They've released something called the Claude Agent SDK. The best way to think about it is like this. Anthropic didn't just show off their fancy new race car, they're giving everyone the keys to the factory and all the robotic tools they use to build it. And this is a huge deal, because this SDK helps solve some of the absolute trickiest problems in AI development. It gives you frameworks for managing long, complex tasks, handling user permissions, and even getting multiple AIs to work together on a single goal.
Of course, with all this incredible power, the next big question has to be, is it safe? It's a huge responsibility, so let's see how Anthropic is tackling the critical issue of AI safety.
Well, according to their own internal audits, the data shows that Sonnet 4.5 has much lower scores for what they call misaligned behaviors. These are basically things you really don't want an AI to do, like being deceptive or power-seeking. And on this chart, a lower score is definitely what you want to see. It's also being released under their AI Safety Level 3 protections. You can think of this as a very sophisticated safety net. It includes advanced filters that are designed to detect and block potentially dangerous stuff before it ever gets to a user, with a special focus on really high-risk topics. To wrap up the announcement, Anthropic didn't just talk about what's here today, they gave everyone a very real preview of what's coming next. And to close things out, they offered way more than just a press release. They actually gave a live demonstration of where all this is heading. And, well, it points to a fundamentally new way of working with our computers.
It was a demo called Imagine with Claude, and it was pretty wild. The AI wasn't just writing code in the background, it was building entire applications from scratch, right there on the screen, live. It would adapt and rebuild the software as you talked to it and changed your mind. It was like having a dynamic, creative partner.
And all of this leaves us with a really provocative final thought. It feels like we are moving from a world where we use AI as a tool to help us to one where the AI itself might become the creator, the developer, the architect. What does that future even look like? That's the question Sonnet 4.5 is asking us all to imagine.